You want to just put it on here? That's what I'm doing. I'm putting Betsy's too, if you see her.
Just a heads up. This is for the stream.
What is?
This mic.
Okay.
So just leave
Okay.
it has to stay up here.
This is the one we
That's
use,
the one we
right?
use.
Okay.
Hopefully you guys stay up in the podium, because if you start moving around, no one's gonna hear you on the stream.
We'll stay up here and we'll let someone else go out and talk to, get people.
Just giving you.
So this one, thank you. Thank you for setting that up because I didn't know anything about it.
This one is just.
You press that for the top, right?
It's
Yeah.
just on now.
Okay, perfect. Turn it off. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm just trying to drag hers over and it doesn't want to be dragged.
How was it? Did you get any rest last night?
Oh God. I looked over those notes that I said I was gonna look over, and then this morning I finished just a little bit. How about you? You guys were getting it.
Oh yeah, I went to bed probably a little after midnight.
You're gonna.
Yes.
Do you need my flash drive?
How are you, my love? Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Good to see you too. I need to see your baby. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Do you want to put it on my flash drive? Or are you gonna get it on?
I can put it on. Have to try to remember this new password that I made with.
That one, and oh, I should probably drop their handouts as well.
Okay.
The last team.
Where did I put the?
And it went okay. That's what you did.
Yes. You want to see the final?
We can do it like in a minute. Like let's get
Okay.
this on here. Even though we're good.
Shouldn't take too long. Oh, do I need to be online?
I think PowerPoint it was doing that to me too.
It was?
This morning. Not here, but
Oh no, it's fine.
it did. It's doing. Yeah, it was just
Okay.
kind of slow. Like it need to
Okay.
make sure with the internet.
Yes. Okay. Eject. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you. And so yeah, let's just take a quick look after I drop that. So that's presentation.
Oh, there you go. You got it right here.
There. Why is it looking? I was still maybe doing something. And then I guess their little final data sheets. I guess we can, if anyone wants to pull those up. I don't think we do. It's in their packets. Drop those folders there. Yeah, I don't know what this is doing. This is not. Marketing. Oh, it's a Word document, right?
No, it should be a PD.
PowerPoint. The PowerPoint?
Mhm.
How come it's saying, oh, that's the agenda, right?
Yeah.
That's the agenda, okay. I don't think we need the agenda, do we?
Maybe.
Yeah. I just hope it doesn't throw them all everywhere. Good morning. I'm putting all the materials.
Yes.
Just
No, I
whatever.
made sure. I was like, let me put on your flash drive.
You guys just, you have all the, they have all those slides. They don't have a PowerPoint. Replace file, no, it's just not looking right. Okay, I'm gonna try that because it didn't do that
Mhm.
before. It's still not looking right.
You want to double click it and just see if it'll
Yeah,
open?
Oh, yeah, it's working.
It's still good. Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so we get rid of this guy. I can leave them like this, right?
Yes.
They're not gonna bounce over
I don't think
here.
it'll be-
We
no.
have to go hunting.
I think it'll be fine.
And what I was gonna say to the folks is, let's just introduce the next person
Okay.
coming up.
Okay.
And if someone forgets, introduce yourself.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go say that to each person. Okay, so what you got there?
Yes.
Just, yeah, let's just keep it as a.
Oh, yes. We're going to have
I
it
know,
light
I
and
know.
fun.
We
And
can only talk for a few
I know.
hours.
Which I really appreciate that.
Oh,
That
no,
was
you
just
guys are great.
my pleasure.
Oh, it looks so pretty.
You
I'm
bet-
so
okay.
plain today. Did not have time for.
Okay, so this is just like, this has the text number.
Mhm.
So I wasn't even gonna say the top 40. I'm just gonna
Just
let
see.
people do. Okay.
You
And
know,
so when I said,
someone's
when
probably gonna say, oh, and then just say, oh, you know, it's the free version, so I don't.
okay, so I told them just 1 or 2 words.
Yeah.
So then these are the 4.
Oh, that's so good.
Then this was the no proposed. And then we're gonna talk about the new ones. And then,
You're gonna talk about the 4 and a proposed update.
correct,
Oh,
correct.
awesome.
So with the first 4, it was this was the current, and then this is the proposed.
Okay. very
So,
good. And then have them vote each time or something, or not.
I wasn't going to.
Oh, no,
I think
it
we
was
could do
at
it.
the
It's
we're
at the
gonna do
beginning.
that later.
Yeah, well,
That way
at
we can
the
get college-wide input.
icebreaker, I had them, that way they can put up the
Yeah,
words.
yeah.
And then I guess afterwards we can do like the survey.
Like following the retreat, we can do a survey of
Yes.
all employees instead of
Yes.
just the ones that are here.
Correct.
Just a bias.
lightly. Take 2 hours to eat breakfast, right? You don't have to put the mask back on. Last time I was on an airplane, I watched a guy spend from Seattle, Washington to Los Angeles to eat 1 pack of peanuts. Anyway, it's good to be able to be back and have our annual planning retreat. It usually is comes at the end of a planning cycle, which starts in March. And actually it starts in January with some of the stuff from the governor's office, and it goes through March on campus when we meet with our college and our community advisory group, which is a group of business and industry leaders that sit down with me twice a year. And I just listen. I listen to what the community needs and where they're going and what they foresee. And then we take that information to the board. The board builds its initiatives for the year within the educational master planning goals. Then we work with the management group throughout the summer, and then we come here and we have that information put together, and then you all kind of go through it by your unit and how you can match up to what the board initiatives are in the educational master plan and what you're going to do for the next 3 years. So you're giving yourself permission to do work as if you needed it, right? But it helps give us a focus. And as we go into an accreditation cycle, it's particularly important that we go through the exercise, but we go through it not just to put something on the shelf and say we did it, but to actually follow it and move through it. So one of the things that I asked at opening day was that we consider this year to be a year of best of intentions. And what that means is that we trust each other and we respect each other, but we trust each other that we are here to do the very best we can for our community and our students. That you're going to trust in me, that I am going to do the same. And in doing that, that means that I'm also going to do the very best I can to make sure you have the resources you need to do the very best job you can. So that's what best of intentions means. It means trusting each other and treating each other with respect. And you know how you can trust someone? Just trust them. So it doesn't start with somebody having to prove that they've earned your trust, but rather the other way. So we start on the positive. And we believe in folks. So that's part of what the issue for the year is. And quite frankly, and it isn't unique to AVC, I'm not talking about society in general, has become somewhat uncivil over the last 18 months. The way people talk to each other, the way that those kinds of things. Being cooped up for 18 months in the house, people have lost some manners. Because you don't need them, right? But I would argue that no, we need them even more. So let's think about those things when we talk about it and say, as I'm typing this email, would I say it the same way if it was sitting across my desk? How would I address that issue if they were sitting here in the room with me? And let's think about it like that rather than what I call keyboard courage. So part of what we're going to work on today and what people are going to talk through is beginning the discussion of college values. And have they adjusted and changed what the values that are in the catalog and in our documents and stuff, have those changed, or do they need to be adjusted, or do they need to be brought forward to the 21st century? And I think you'll find that the conversation will be good. But remember, lively, robust debate is fine, as long as it's done with respect. And please, let's honor the truth. Truth is a set of facts that we can't argue about too much. Facts are facts. And let's start there and work through them that way as well, okay? So we start with the truth, we respect each other, and we listen to each other, okay? And I think that you'll find your conversations will be very fruitful. Okay, as I said on opening day, this year is my last. I'm retiring in June. And I can tell you that the last 9 years, we have done some amazing work together. And whether you know it or not, Antelope Valley College is on the national stage. And certainly on the state stage. We get our opinion and our participation is sought all the time, which is a very good thing. You can be very proud of that work that you've done that brought the college to that point. Over the next 3 years, you're going to have the completion of what will be one of the shining state-of-the-art campuses in the state. I don't know if you've noticed some of the building that's going on. It's kind of hard to ignore it unless you're walking around in the days. But Sage Hall will be opening the end of this month. Beautiful building. If you haven't been over on that side of campus, it's worth the walk. Discovery Lab will be open for students beginning spring semester. Student Services Building has had kind of a rough start, to say the least. But it's going to open next summer. We'll start demolition on OF2 area, ME building, OF2 and technical education, the old rooms. We'll start demolition on that next year in the spring or early summer, and we'll get ready to put up the commons. Then we'll do a gym renovation. We've got some state money, matching funds to do the gym renovation. And the planning for Cedar Hall has already started. It's going, and I think it's gone out to bid, hasn't it? No, but it's getting ready. Cedar Hall will be a 3-story educational building on the footprint of the current Student Services Building. And we'll have a party when they take down the Student Services Building. I don't know, maybe we'll give everybody a hard hat and $1 a swing and let you swing a sledgehammer at it. Or maybe we'll just give you paintball guns and let you run through the building, shooting up the walls and everything like that. Something that'll be fun. Yeah, we could do that. We got to be kind of careful though. Those old buildings really are put together. I don't know how many of you remember when they took down the old science labs that were next to the lecture hall. But those buildings are built so well that when they swung the wrecking ball bounced. So now they have to pull them over with the backhoe. So they don't do it the other way. So those are concrete walls. They got great big iron planks that hold it together at the corners. So as much as we hate student services, it's probably going to take something to take it down. So, which is good. So anyway, somewhere in 2025, the campus will be done. And we'll be occupying slowly over that period of time. So that's kind of exciting. And in each new building will be the latest available. We also are going to be spending some money. We're going to spend some of President Biden's money. It's not ours, it's his. So we're going to spend it. We're going to distribute another $19 million to students, maybe a little more. We've already distributed 18 million, I think, pretty close to 18 million. So we'll be taking care of that with students. We're going to completely rebuild the technology infrastructure of the college. So all the servers, all the cabling, all the wiring and everything will be up to date and brand new. And it will continue into the new buildings. We've already put cameras and microphones in every classroom and know that there are some issues, just like anything new. You got to work through them and it takes a little bit of time. That's why we don't buy the latest version of Windows when it comes out. We wait, let all the problems, let somebody else deal with the problems and then let them fix it. So that's kind of what we're doing there. But anyway, this will be my last year. And I can tell you that it has been my absolute honor and privilege to have served as your president. I will have been hired at 35 years. I will have been here 9, and I'll be 70 years old next year. So I'm going to go fishing. My wife and I are going to travel while we're still young enough to enjoy it. I'm going to continue to teach. I'm still teaching. I'm teaching at Cal State Bakersfield, a couple of sessions at night. I'm going to do some writing, and I'm going to haunt the board and Antelope Valley College if anybody tries to screw things up. We've made some promises to the community, and we need to keep those. But I know you all will. So I'm very pleased with that. There is, as part of the bond measure, what we're doing, we will have a total of $35 million in a treasury account with Los Angeles County Treasury that's locked into CDs. And it's written so tightly that it will take the equivalent of a Northridge quake that brought down buildings to be able to pierce the money. The interest proceeds on that money will be available every year for repair and renovation on campus, so that we never again have to ask or wonder if Sacramento is going to send us money for maintenance. The good news, and that is, if they send the money, we'll use that first. But nevertheless, we never have to ask about it, so we don't have to wait for Sacramento to tell us it's okay to take care of the place. So I'm looking forward to the work that you're going to do today, and how that will fold into our future planning. We do have the accreditation process started. Nita is heading that up as well, along with Veronica. Please work with them and participate as best you can. It's an extremely important endeavor. Our last site visit was in 2016, and we were fully reaffirmed. That's a big deal. Let's keep that track record going. It's no fun when they come back and say, well, we got to come back and see you again. You know, it's like when the doc says, I want to see you again in a week. Nah, that usually isn't good. So anyway, please participate in that. And I'm very pleased with the way everything has gotten started that way as well. So to all of you, welcome back. It is really good to see people in person. And I look forward to the coming year and the work that we're going to be doing together. So remember, it's the year of best of intentions. Believe that in I believe it in each of you. You believe of it in each other. Okay? All right. Thank you all very much. Now I'd like to bring up our Executive Director of Public Information, Betsy Sanchez. Thank you all very much. God bless. There's the agenda.
I think I've met most of you. As President Knudsen said, my name is Betsy Sanchez. I'm the Executive Director of Marketing and Public Information. I've been at AVC for a couple of years, and it's been a lot of change since then. So I wanted to come up and update you on what marketing's been up to. A lot of you have already heard quite a bit of this or been part of it, and thank you for that and for your patience as we grow. But I do want to kind of take you through at least a little bit of my journey and then the team's journey. So I started in July of 2019. I was around for about 5 months before going to have a baby. And in those 5 months really was just getting acclimated with higher ed. I came from the high school district where I'd been for about 3 years. And before that I did entertainment public relations. So education was a huge shift for me. In those 5 months, I got to know a little bit about AVC, but not nearly enough to really understand. And then I went and had a baby and came back on March 16th when all of you started working from home. So it was quite the adventure to get to that point. In those first 5 months, Rachel Morgan, who you may remember, the coordinator of communications at the time, left and went to Northrop. Pam, sitting right here, left to go finish her bachelor's degree, the blasphemy of all of it. And I was left kind of alone with Vicki and then came back to COVID, and it was just the two of us. And I remember that very, very vividly because Rick Shaw said, here, you can have Rich Keaton and he can help you through this really, really hard time where no one knows what we're doing. But all we know is that we have to communicate, and we're the only two people right now around who can help the college do that. So we spent many, many months doing that from home. coming in, going back, as all of you know, you were on that journey with us. And now I'm starting to feel like we're actually gelling. We're back. We've made some really, really great hires. Somewhere here, she's the new coordinator of communications, and I'll take you through what our team looks like now. But anyway, a lot has changed for marketing. So I want to bring you all up to speed and, obviously let you know if you have any questions at the end, please come see me. And let us know if there's anything that we can do better or different, because we are growing and evolving for sure. So talking about the team, Nancy Masters is also somebody who I hired during COVID. She's the administrative coordinator. She's helping with public records requests, which has grown into a big beast for us and a lot of learning. We've got Desiree Lee, like I mentioned, coordinator of communications, as she's right over there. Yep, and her job, I will tell you, is very new. It's something I don't think that was done before. So we're learning as we go, and all of you, I'm sure, have heard about marketing request form and putting in and submitting your information, really trying to get our hands on everything that's communicated across campus, because all of you have a lot of great things going on that we need to share. Rich Caton, our web developer right here, who's undertaking a new website. Woo woo! We cannot wait. You can all say you hate the website. We say it all the time too, although it looks much, much better than when we started. And for some reason, I've done new websites just about everywhere I've worked, and it's painful. So we're gonna get there though, hopefully next year. Vicki Mathias is not here. She's our graphic designer. Pam, like I mentioned, she's sitting here in the front. She's helping us out right now as a short-term hourly on a variety of projects, which I'll get into in just a second. And Rose, obviously, over at Switchboard in the admin building. And we just brought on board Veronica Cardenas, who is helping us at the Switchboard as well, and doing some additional projects. So that is our team as of right now. So major initiatives. We did start a marketing request form to really help get some processes in place. What I noticed when I first got here was that most people were just going to Vicki and asking for a flyer. I mean, as all of you know, with communications and technology and it evolving every single day, that probably isn't going to get you very far. I'm not even sure which students actually will walk by a flyer and take it down from a board or what have you. So I wanted to see what was being communicated, and this is probably the best way for us to do it because we're inundated with requests daily. We've got about nearly 500 requests since we started tracking them, and it hasn't been that long, it's been months. But we do have Desiree going through, and Nancy at times too, to really take those in, figure out who on the team is going to be touching a particular request. Some of them are simple, some of them are more complex, but really what I'm trying to accomplish here, what the team is trying to accomplish is asking questions so we're making sure that we're helping you the best way. Sometimes what you think you need is not what you need, and we can kind of help you get to the place that you really want to be and how you're going to be effective at communicating to your target audience. So that is our goal around establishing those processes and procedures. Like I said, it's a work in progress. I think we're getting there. We're doing good. We're working with IT to hopefully get Jira and get a more elaborate system, if you will, where we copy folks on some of these things and let people have some engagement in the process. So that's where we're at with that. Like I mentioned, Nancy has been tackling the public records requests. If you get public records, you've already been, I'm sure, working with us. Thank you, Megan, for all your help in training and helping us learn, and Bridget too. But that's something that is ongoing. We continue to learn, and we're in the process of actually looking for software that will help us keep all those requests in one place in the same way. Some of them can get pretty tedious, as those of you in facilities and business services know. And we have to be on our game those things because they can be pulled at a time for different reasons, legal reasons, etc. So we are also looking at establishing switchboard procedures, a manual, what have you. There are times when we need people to jump in up there in front of the admin building and do some of the things on the phone and really helping with the customer service piece of that. Not just answering the phone, but getting students what they need the first time they call. All of us, right, when we call a business and you really need something or something really important to you, you want that first person to help you. You don't want to have to dial 0 or hit 0 and continue to hit all these different buttons and still not get anywhere. So we're working on how do we do customer service, not how we answer the phone, and the team is taking care of that with myself, but how do we actually do customer service from the switchboard, and how do we do it effectively and efficiently? And we are going to be coming to you all to help us with that, because the first step really is going to be the website. Right, because that's where we live, and that's where people are going to go to find all of us, all of you, your departments, and then of course, if they want somebody live, how we tie the two together. So just to plug for the new website, your pages are going to have to be updated. That's not going to be optional anymore. So if you own a page, you know it's if fun, let us know, we'll take it down. Or get prepared to do some good work in updating it, making sure that it's going to be part of that customer service that we're talking about. So speaking of the website, we started this process, gosh, it feels like 6 months ago. Maybe it has been 6 months. We are working with a company called Paywall, who's done a lot of community college websites. A lot of you in the room have probably seen the free homepage design that we started working with. We are really excited and looking forward to what the final homepage design looks like. And we are just getting started. When I say we, there's a team, but Rich and I are leading it on what the navigation is going to look like. And that's really where the crux of it all is. Right, where do you hit the button to get to where you need to be? What information are we providing really quickly up front in those quick links up on top? And how much do you have to dig to get to where you want to go? What does it look like on mobile? There's so many questions, but it's a really exciting thing. And if we learn nothing with COVID, our digital presence is more than sometimes you walking on the campus. There are people who won't walk onto here until they have to repeat for a class. So we really need to have our AD when it comes to the website and making sure that people understand why they should stay here, save time, save money, and not go down the hill to another college. Well, lots of work to be done on that. We are hoping that we will launch in the summer for fall registration. If you've ever worked on a project like this, you know you say hope because something's out of control. But that's where the new website. We're working also on a marketing enrollment strategy for spring 2022. During COVID, we did a lot of kind of knee-jerk reactions, like most people did, most industries did, trying to get our message out, right? You might have seen us when you were watching Monday Night Football, you may have heard us on High Radio, you may have heard us on Pandora or seen our ads, and we were doing quite a bit of trying to get out there, but I think the fact of the matter was, if people weren't comfortable, they were going to go. And that was that. So it was difficult to tell how much of a return on investment we were getting. Now we need to take a step back and really analyze what we've been doing and what we need to do to really focus on it. And we've got a group of folks that has been working on putting together the strategy, Michelle, for your help, looking at our core messages, really the messages, enroll now. Jumpstart your career, stay close to home, save time, save money. Those are all supportive messages, but we really need people to enroll. So we are diving in, Pam and I, into figuring out how we take those core messages and what support we need, what resources we might need, and go out and within our RFP and find some agencies that can help us to really get down into the analytics and do we do billboards, do we do buses, do we stick to radio, how are we doing our social media, where are we going to put some ad buys on social to really get some traction with the moment. Because it's going to be an uphill battle, as all of you have heard, to get folks back into their regular routines. So a lot of work to be done on that. We're hoping that we'll start to launch that and really do some good work around it coming spring. Process. We are also working on a community mailer, a spring 22, I think, timeline is what we're working with. And what we're envisioning is something kind of like what the cities do with Outlook magazine or Palmdale magazine, that the city of Palmdale does. And this would essentially kind of tell you what AVC has to offer from A to Z, but focusing on enrollment. We've got a rough draft going. If you have any questions, want to provide input, please let us know. Not everything's going to make it. These publications are very expensive, and we're planning to deliver one to every household. But that is a huge undertaking as well. So when we're talking about resources, we need desperately, and Leon will talk about. This is something that ended up on the HR sub prioritization. I might mess that up. And so we're working on putting together a job description and hopefully getting someone on staff to help us in that area. Oftentimes we get asked, can you come do a video? Can you come do a photo? And we don't have somebody on staff that does that. Obviously, we are all probably pretty proficient on our iPhones. Rich is amazing, but I'm not going to say more about that because people will flock to him. He's really good. But he also has a really big project. So we need somebody on staff that just does that focus because of how technology is. Obviously, all of you know, videos and photos are how people take in all of this information. Very rarely are they looking at your text, right? And if it's more than 3 lines, they're not going to probably pay too much attention further than that. So that is a huge priority for us. We're also, lastly, we're working on email signature template and a policy around email signature. We're just doing some investigative work right now, just to understand how that works. I think that the high school district has provided everybody a website where they went in and filled out their information and it popped up this really nice, pretty clean email signature template that you can use. That just keeps us, on par in terms of the organization and delivering the best information in your email signature if you can. There likely be an EPA that follows with that. But again, it's just investigated at this point. That's my update in a nutshell. I think I see a question.
Are we talking about signatures?
Yeah, like kind of the block signature that you can put at the bottom. So it would already have a logo in there, and then you go in and put your name, your title, your phone, your email, and then it actually pops up an actual signature that you can just take and put in your email. Yeah. So it does it all for you, and it makes it uniform across the board, which is really nice. It works well with the high school district. Well, I think that's something that we're looking into in terms of how that will work, because the signatures really are intended to provide that work information, not necessarily personal information, but that's what we're looking into. I'm sorry. I understand. Yeah, and we will be able to have conversations about it. Anybody else? All right, thank you so much. And now I get to introduce James Nasabek, Nate Dillon, and Vanessa Escobar for the best of words.
I am only James Nasabek. So I start with is we'll have some fun now. Do we have any competitors? Do we have any competitors in the building? Okay. We're going to do word search. I'm going to do word searches. Okay, so we're giving out word searches to you. And you have 45 minutes to shoot that one. But we're going to have to get as fast as possible. Please do not try to over yet. We don't want people to start. I think this people here will be showing. So is. Your favorite part? Who's got a sheet yet? Raise your hand. All right. Everybody has a word. Has a sheet of problem. No, we need to go later. Okay, we're so here we go. Everybody, once you're done, you need to bring it up here, or make sure that you know all the words. And you have a box for the so ready? Everybody turn over the sheets and begin. So as you're all finding the words, yes, I do this building. I mean, third. All right. First base, first six.
How do we stop the presentation?
Do you want to not be up there? I'll just. And then we'll just plug that back in the chair.
Okay. I
Well,
want
you didn't want it up?
not yet, because I'm trying to log into this.
No, I'm joking. Like, oh, you didn't-
This is the first time I'll hear this. This is,
What? Oh.
What window is that? No.
trying to get the word cloud to show.
She said if it goes out. Oh, no. I turned it off. Oh, you did? Yeah. That was smart. Yeah.
Yeah, just, yeah, make sure, just make sure. You want to check? Yeah, I said stuff. All right. Put down your pencils. Okay, if you're holding a pencil, put it down. Real quickly, who here has 15? Who has 20? 20. Who has 25? Okay, people who have 20, raise your hand real quick. All right, how many do you have here, lady? 22, anybody have more than 22? 24, 20, we have 220, okay. So if I have the 224s, we did have someone with 30, so. So you want to come on stage, come on, and then the 224s, we have prizes for the second place. The third place, come on, we have prizes. So, come on up. So, is a Scrabble game. Our business cards. So it's a Scrabble. We have a couple bucks for second place, so we want to thank you all for participating. Thank you. Yes, Evan? What? Yeah. Anyways, thank you all for participating. Now I'm going to have Desiree and Dr. Rita come up and present on our values. So thanks a lot.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? We used our brain power today. You know, we got our muscles going. So now we're going to talk a little bit about values. And I just want to start off by thanking Goel and of course President Newsom, because this came from Leadership Academy. So I was blessed to be a part of the inaugural Leadership Academy in 2019. And I had an amazing group, Mr. Paul Hamlet, our student, Ms. Goldberg, and our dear Michael White. And this was really something that we saw was needed on our campus, and we really wanted to highlight and understand where we are currently as an institution, and also where we're trying to go. So with that,
I was just going to say, this really is the focus of today, how we are, how we do things, not so much what we do, even though you're going to be doing a little bit of brainstorming regarding planning and what we do to achieve our mission. But really, there are issues right now with our core values. Our values are up in the cafeteria. We have them on the website. Actually, one of them fell in the cafeteria the last time I saw. And there were 3 of the 4, but we don't have them everywhere. We can't, you know, think about how we're walking those values, because it's really about the actions. We do want to have the best of intentions. I think nobody wakes up, I believe that. Nobody wakes up, like this morning, for example, thinking, how am I going to mess over AVC? Or how am I going to mess things up at work? I think people do have the best of intentions, but then we got to follow through with actions on these values. So I really appreciate this work and how you're going to help us with it.
thank you so much, Dr. Goel. Okay, so we have another activity. Woohoo, yay. So pull out your phones, because you know, communications, I like phones. So you can do 2 things. You can go to the link at the top of the screen, which says polev.com/DesireeLee937, or you can text the number 37607 and text my name, Desiree Lee 937. And once you join that, raise your hand so that way I know we have a good majority here. But we really wanted you all to think about when you think about AVC,
What are some values that you think are needed? And what are some values that aren't listed yet that we already do well as a campus? So we'd like for you to share at least 1 to 2 words with us using the link above. And I'll give you a few minutes to do that. And I'll go ahead and pull up the screen so we can see what these words are. It'll come right back. It'll come right back. So the link's up there too. So pollev.com/DesireeLee937. If you send a text, you can just text directly to that number that you sent. So we already see a couple of words here. All right, this is exciting. I like when these word clouds come together. So we have social responsibility, we have integrity, we have opportunity. These are really important words. Empathy. Wow. Education. Yes. It's not working? Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. No, you don't have to join with a password. You just go either directly to that link or you can send it via text. All right, we've got some really good words here, you all. I love this: honesty, accountability. These are all really great, amazing words, right? Growth, loyalty, student. That should be #1 word, right? The students here. Education is very important. So yes, so glad to see all these words coming together. So we'll give it just another minute or so and allow this word cloud to really expand. Yes, guidance, faithful, excellence. I think you guys have been looking at my presentation. Yes, motivation, student-centered, trust. That's a big word, right? Especially when we talk about best of intentions. Community, motivation, innovation, cohesiveness. So we'll continue to allow this to grow and expand, but I'm just so grateful that we are all on the same page. So our poll is currently full. We're not accepting anymore, but let's just look at these words, right? Academic, opportunity, cohesiveness, faithful, honest, guidance, united, excellence, serving, unity, intention, right? Best of intentions, family, inclusivity. These are all amazing words, and it's going to directly tie into the presentation today. So with that, we have our current values. How many of us know our current values, right? I'll give you a hint, they're inside your folder too. So you can see it in that little small packet there. But our current values, there's 4 of them. They're education, integrity, excellence, and community. Oh, they're in the little booklet, the little small square booklet. Yes, that's where they are. Every year we get them, right? These should be ingrained in our brains because this is what we value as AVC, as an institution. So for education, we're dedicated to students, faculty, staff, and alumni in their endeavor for lifelong learning. For integrity, we expect honesty, trust, candor, and professionalism from one another. For excellence, we commit to the highest quality in all our endeavors, being responsive to our community in innovative ways. And for community, we create and foster relationships between AVC and its diverse constituents, students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the community at large. So as we're reviewing the current values, our group was tasked with how do we update and improve, and how do we move forward with the best of intentions, right? Because we know that, like Mita said, we don't just come to work thinking, how can I make this worse for someone? No, all of us here, we try to do better and make things better than how we saw it, how we came to it. So with that, we're going to look at what our current principles are, what our current values are, and then the updates that our group had. So for education, as we see, there was no proposed update because that's what we are. We're an institution of higher learning. Education is #1. That's a given, right? We can agree on that. So the second one, integrity. As we see the current principle, it says we expect honesty, trust, candor, and professionalism from one another. And we thought, how can we go deeper? Because sometimes it's not about just the words, but it's putting action to that. So we recognize that ethical behavior and trust is a personal, professional, institutional, and societal responsibility due to students, staff, faculty, administration, and the communities we serve. That should be a given, right? That's who we are as AVC, as the institution. So integrity is what we are proposing to update as far as the definition is concerned. For excellence, we decided that excellence is good, but we want academic excellence as well. So we embrace the potential of all students, and we strive to uphold a transformative standard of academic excellence in their pursuit of certificates, degrees, transfer, and lifelong learning. That is something that we want to strive to, and that's something that we're currently doing and will continue doing, right? All right, community. Again, this is something that we're just updating, right? These are the ones that we already have. So for the update, we said we strive to work collectively in service to and in conjunction with members of our community to create and foster relationships between AVC and its diverse constituents. And I know that we're saying these things over and over again, but we need to call things out. We need to call these specific groups out. So we say specifically students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the community at large. So those were the top 4, right? Those are our current. So, you know, we had to put a little razzle dazzle and add a few more with our proposed values. So are you ready for the next ones? Are we ready? Yes? Yes, okay. All right. Well, I see some people are awake, okay? So remember one of those words that we had on our word cloud was empathy. And what is the role of empathy on our campus and why did we choose it as a value? So empathy is about relationship building, and it's allowing us to check our own privilege and listen to the needs of our students. In order to have responsibility, social responsibility, we must have empathy, and social responsibility is the offspring of empathy. So let's look at what the proposed principle update would be. We believe in the power of empathy as an essential tool and critical skill for organizational decision makers as a vehicle for moral recognition of ethical situations and a greater breadth of understanding of student, employee, and community impact and success. We celebrate each individual's unique capacity to be an integral part of a dynamic community of learners, continuously learning from each other through their varied experiences. We embrace the concepts of learning from each other and their distinctive perspectives. So that's empathy. Thank you, yes, we need that, right? So let's look at the next one, because I just kind of gave you a hint in the first one there. Social responsibility. So what is the role of social responsibility on our campus? And why did we choose that as a value? So we learned that preliminary campus climate show that a warm, positive campus climate is strongly associated with student retention, student persistence, and student success. In working towards improving our campus climate, we recognize that students feel most comfortable when they feel validated. One of the areas that we can grow as a campus is acknowledging that we have a social responsibility to ensure a warm campus climate for learners of all intersections of diverse groups. That is the why. So the update that we have for that is we recognize the historical role that educational institutions have had in reproducing social inequities and strive to address the most pressing social issues of our time through the critical engagement of curriculum, training, and support services. So that's all of you, right? We have the faculty here, we have the administrators here, we have the support services. It's our responsibility. That's where the social responsibility comes into play. Inclusivity. Remember seeing that word up there too? We're all on the same wavelength here, right? So the role of inclusivity on our campus is that students need to feel a sense of belonging. We have worked hard to ensure diversity on our campus. I mean, just look at this room right now, right? But we should offer not only a sense of inclusion, but openly welcome it. And the only way that we move forward is together. So with this proposed principal update, we recognize that a diverse community of learners, faculty, staff, and administration enriches our educational environment and our commitment to inspire all to act locally and think globally. And finally, we have respect. Why did we choose respect? What is this role on our campus? Well, when utilizing this year's theme of best of intentions, we want to ensure that we are working together and to follow the golden rule. We all learned the golden rule in elementary school, right? So when we feel respected, we tend to be more respectful. So the proposed principal update is we cultivate, embrace, nurture, and empower all individuals regardless of race, ethnicity, ability, gender, age, sexual orientation, class status, or religious belief. So these are our proposed principal updates. And I just want to leave you all with a quick quote that the mind is just like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets and the more it can expand. And going into that, we want to make sure that we are growing and exercising all of these new principles here. So empathy, inclusivity, respect, and social responsibility. So I hope that you all really enjoyed this presentation. I thank you for your attention, and I hope that we can integrate these new values into our day-to-day life. Thank you.
Thank you, Desiree. So the next steps for that are going to be, instead of just having you all take a vote on what you all think, we want to include the rest of the college. So we'll come up, we'll have some more discussions and, but not take 6 months or anything. We're not going to take a long time. And then have the entire college provide their input and take it from there. But we need something in place for ourselves. I know we have accreditation coming, but in a couple of years, but accreditation wants us to do these things for us, for our students, and not because of accreditation alone. So with that, I'm going to carry on with the values a little bit with the environmental scan. And it's a small environmental scan because I've been feeling very conflicted during the past year and a half about looking at the long-term picture. It seems like, what is the point, right? Anything can happen at any time, world can turn upside down. But it's still important to look at that, keep it in mind. Some of the worst things that people have suffered, they've gotten through them because they thought of the long-term picture. They had that in mind while they dealt with the terrible things that they were dealing with at the time. And that's what got them through. So I'm going to, go through some information in the form of STEEP, from Society of College and University Planning, but also, it's just a technique used elsewhere for scanning information, the social, technological, environmental, and why am I spacing, economic and political trends going on globally, nationally, and more locally at the state level, and at what it means for AVC. So globally, we have a short little video that I probably need to do this. So, a lot to think about as far as what's going on out there. And what are we gonna do? The same, what are we gonna do differently? Because we're preparing students for things that are unknown. We are planning for the unknowns. And so we gotta think about what's going on in the world today and locally today, but also try to think, that's been a challenge for us as a college, try to think a little bit at least about the long-term picture. And one way is we're going to start the 10-year Ed Master Plan process and the facilities master planning process soon. So that'll get us thinking that way with the help of some consultants out there as well. So that was globally, and there's a new generation coming up, Alpha. I'm starting over again, I guess, and they are 11 years old, 12 years old, so we don't even know how they're going to want to communicate. Two of the things that we're all important, we all have a role to play, but Betsy presented on communication, marketing communication, and that is a key area. How we communicate, how the marketing helps us with that is key. IT, I was glad to hear the president talk about the technology infrastructure, and it's expensive, but we have to do it. We gotta keep up with these times. So nationally, we got an aging workforce. And what are we gonna do about that? Oh, a couple of percentage signs. Sorry about that. And so again, being able to look at the big picture, which is a challenge for us. We've talked about it a lot at Strategic Planning Committee, but we get caught up with the day-to-day, with the fires that need to be put out. So we need to look at the big picture, think about what's coming at us right now, but yet be responsive to the changes out there. Birth rates are decreasing, so our enrollment issues that Betsy started talking about, and we're going to talk about some more, are likely to continue. As of 2024, 2025, the number of adolescents is expected to decline even more. So falling enrollments, and you can see in your packets on the right-hand side, ours is our enrollment trends, and you can see a cliff there as well, right? As of last year and this year. So people are nationally, they're thinking about, do I need to go to college? Svetlana was saying this morning, she saw that FAFSA applications were down. And when you can get a credential or get a job without finishing a degree or certificate, and you need to make money. So technology, you saw in at the global level, AI, the influence of AI, and we need to look at how it can help IT. Data privacy, data security, it continues to be big, but it's, how are we ensuring, we're just signing our lives away. This morning I heard about, I used for the first time, I've had it on my phone forever, but Apple Pay, I tried it for the first time because American Express said, if you use it 3 times in the next month, we'll give you some points. So I said, okay, and I tried it, but then I heard this morning that there are privacy issues, like your information is at risk when you're using Apple Pay. So it's something we need to think about a lot. Scary. Online classes, they talked about the hybrid approach. They're here to stay, and we need to do better by our faculty and staff as far as training. But teachers need ongoing training, because again, the technology is changing so rapidly, and we need that. Yes. Economic trends. And these are just some of the things. There's so much more, but we only have so much time this morning. So competition for recruiting students. So that cliff, adolescents, the number of adolescents declining. Well, we're going to have increased competition for the ones that are there. And so it breaks my heart when I hear staff tell me stories about their friends and family having bad experiences or being told things about AVC that don't go there. It's not a good school. An Uber driver, one of the professions that was there in that video, it's not a good school. And now with online, they have a lot of options. So How are we going to make it more welcoming? We're still working on it at the library. It's not perfect, but we have been trying every year to create a more welcoming atmosphere in the library, both in our area, but especially obviously for students. But it's a work in progress, and we need to do that college-wide. We need to do better. It's not that we're not doing it. You can see by the data in your packets that we're doing a pretty good job. We are improving for the most part, but it's pretty good enough. It might be for some, but I'll keep talking about it for one, that we need to do better. No, I would not. And they're struggling. My students, I teach classes at night at CCB, and they're telling me that even with financial aid, and most of them were AVC students, by the way, so they tell me about their experience there as well. They can't make it, even with financial aid, paying bills and for their lives. They're struggling. So we need to do better again, even when we think we're giving them all this aid. We can give them some discounts, you know, one course. I saw it somewhere yesterday, one course. We can discount that, they're more likely to enroll. Online education, and said it in under social, or the last one of them. Support, increasing support for online education, both in the classroom, what faculty need, but also outside the classroom. What support do they need? Or are we just like, you know, throwing them in there? And communicating the value of education. Not saying that we're cheap, you know, or the Walmart of colleges or anything like that, but what is the value? What is the return on investment? You're going to struggle through even your time at AVC, financially, possibly. But what are you going to get after that? Are you going to get that employment that you want? You know, the kind of life that you want? So what is the value of an AVC credential? Environmental trends. And obviously these are going on, we're not alone, right? They're going on nationally. What can we do? I know we're building buildings, so I'm not saying tear down buildings, but maybe some of the older ones, you know, which includes the library probably. Let's look at our facilities footprint. Are we maximizing our space utilization? And what can we do without? Because if they're online, a lot of students are online. Do we really need that space? Why are we paying for it? So keep the new spaces and think about the old is one thing. Climate change, it's there. You know, the seas are, I look at the ocean a lot and it's messed up. The last couple of weeks, it was like the ocean water was yellow, brown. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't stay this way. And it was the oil apparently that was, and you just like, you didn't even want to walk in it. So, but it's cleared up. So the ocean has a, you know, it's massive, so it can deal with a lot, but what are we doing to it? Partnering with other colleges, saying, well, we'll use this space for this and, you know, letting them use yours, that sort of thing. So increasing partnerships. And then the political. So four-year colleges are thinking about two-year degrees and vice versa. And there was a place in schools in Georgia that were doing, the four-year schools were doing that. And engaging students as citizens, helping them with that. We have a lot of younger students, you know, but even the older ones, we all need that. So how can we engage students more? And then not just have them come, you know, come to class and leave campus. Dialogue that is productive. So regarding our values, how we are with one another, how we walk every day. Why is it we cannot have, you know, a year and a half of so many Zoom meetings and webinars and all these courageous conversation webinars that colleges were having, right? Why can't we just, we're educators, why can we not have these conversations about the things that are bothersome and propose some solutions that we can collectively agree on and move forward with? Not every single person has to be on board. And, you know, they can, that's okay. They can do their thing. But if the majority of us can get on board. So productive, you know, dialogue, that's discourse. And K to 16 education and workforce development, really strengthening that. So at the state level, these are some major things that affect us. The vision for success, equity, guided pathways, AB 705, and the student-centered funding formula. And we have groups, if not all of us, addressing that, so that these will factor into our planning. And so the first quote here has to do with what the president put that in his email about the best of intentions. So again, moving forward, that is the theme for today. And I'm sorry, there are a few people who don't care for themes, but that's okay. That is the theme for today. Moving forward, no matter what is coming at us, and we have been moving, but are we moving forward as well as we can and together across our silos? Because my perception of AVC is there's a lot of good work being done amongst the areas, the departments, and the divisions. But whether other areas, divisions, and departments are even aware of that is a bit of a mystery. It often comes to the surface that they're not. And so, are we duplicating efforts? And so you're going to get at that with the group activity coming up and the gallery walk. And the second quote also has to do with, it has to do with that survival, having that faith in the future that despite this, you know, demographic cliff, falling enrollments, that there is hope. We have hope, and we have some ideas about a plan for that long-term future, that Ed master plan, that facilities master plan, while keeping our eyes focused on what's going on around us in the present as well. And that will get us through. So the pandemic has just made it apparent to all of us that are here, especially talking with you today, that we need to do something about how we are with one another. And it's not that one-on-one. I could speak with anybody on campus, students, faculty, staff, anyone, and they're great. But we get into small groups or a large group, and some of the things that are said, or if someone is stressed and they have a deadline, the way they make their stress your stress, I don't know, pass it on, tag you're it. It goes on every day. I could give you examples. And it's like, okay, why are you just giving me one word to go by for what you need? Because it's like just, and go read like 10 emails below and figure it out. It's like, don't have time for that. And, you know, but we make time, but it's not good. So we need to have not only the best of intentions, but some values that we can stick by. And we can say, all right, I know integrity was spelled wrong. It's like one of my favorite words. So I was crushed that it was spelled wrong. But you know, how are we can point out that, you know, I didn't feel respected there. And trust is under integrity right now. So President mentioned trust. how important that is, that we need to trust one another, that we have the best intentions for the college. We mean the best for to do the best for the college. Engaging everyone. We have at least one student here today, and I really appreciate that. Anytime we have a gathering like this, we should include everyone and have students there and have them give us their perspective, in addition to any surveys we do. So now for the next part, and what we're going to do is look at ourselves, considering the information you have today, the experiences you had over the last year and a half. How are we using that internal and external information? Data, all the information that marketing has, and to respond to the changes that are around us. And things that we don't know, we don't even know. Are we leaving our curriculum the same? Or are we thinking about the future and preparing students to be these good citizens, preparing them with the skill set, the soft skill set they need, helping them with those so they can navigate any kind of environment that comes their way, hopefully. So how are we going to use, or how are we using what we learn about student success? And you have a lot of data in your packets on completion and student success. I believe it's on the left side, but there's also some on the right side as well. And so especially here though, are we looking at success with online? Because one of the things I saw there was it was just a little lower for online learning. It used to be a lot lower. So we're doing something, but how can we support online instruction better, as well as face? We can't drop the face-to-face. We got to keep that as well, and continue to improve instruction and support our faculty. And then what are we going to do to encourage students to re-enroll, to make it more welcoming at the college? And I'm not saying, you know, we have to hold hands and skip and, you know, sing or anything like that. Just how can we make the college environment more welcoming? Because I'll just speak for myself. I personally do not think it is as welcoming as it could be right now. Even in the library, you know, put our area out there. And so we're working on that. So, and we'll have it in our goals. So with that, I'm gonna let Dr. DePlazas and James come up here and lead you through a group activity related to thinking about how we're going to do things, and then we'll have a gathering walk.
Thank you. You ready for another game? That was a joke, sorry. All righty. What we're going to ask you to do is kind of gather into groups, areas as we go into this next group activity time. We're bringing up our sheets that are in your folder here. Anyways, so on your tables, you'll see there is a QR code if you want to do it online, or you can use the actual line right outside. What this is creative problem solving. What this is what we problems we currently are working through, or teachers problems that we might see as in our areas. And then consider the environment what we're going to do differently to help solve those problems. Sometimes we can get stuck in how we think, but we want to answer that question. Consider this is the environment what we're going to do differently every day to go forward. And then from there, there's little arrows, so it makes it a little bit easier. So There we go. And then the third one, what's the information? What do you hear from students? What do we know that this problem is? Do we know about best practices, other places? That's kind of what we want to do as far as gathering information as to problems and see how we can solve it. And then the last one we're asking, don't let our current financial restraints maybe creep into this. So if you could do whatever, what would you do to eliminate what we see as current problems or problems in the future in our areas? And then what we're going to do is we're going to be passing out big pieces of paper for the next one. In that big goals area that you have, we want you to kind of make a poster and think about these things and write those ideas. And then we're going to just put them on these side back here. Just put them back here. Put them up, and then we're going to do a gallery walk. We're going to come back to that. So you have about a half hour right now with your groups to work with that first blue or online little document, and then create your poster with passing this out. Any questions? Are we good? Any of the house lights? Okay. We'll get some of the lights on. And we can move from there.
The lights on. Yeah, plus
Right, you're gonna start from there on each day before you're gonna start your gallery. posters and stuff come up. So as soon as you feel guys just kind of pull back here. Now this wall. Yeah. So start. There you go. So we'll do that and then I'll be back. So this is kind of the, we're going to be doing, see here, this paper right here. All right, I don't want anyone to agree on this issue, but we need 5 more minutes. And then this get next to it, so we want questions. All righty. We're moving on, so you get back, I go all back to a lot more reasons for this, right? Right. It's cold, and it's Friday. So what we're gonna do is this. So everybody's just real quick. If you have a number now, post it, please do. If you have someone from your team stand by it, so as people are going around looking at it, they have questions, they can ask you, what we're going to do is you have another piece of paper that's orange. We're going to keep it around and kind of use this as your guide as you're going through it. So there is this first question. I'm sorry. Versus we do groups in the same way about merge. So kind of look through there and see what groups you have, which should look like this. Then you see common themes as you're going through it. And then finally, any new issues emerge. So if something come up out of someone else's categories, what else we should do. And then the last thing is, who would you want to partner with your issue? If you saw more of this issue that you saw in one partner, do that. Okay. So we're going to think about, pardon me? What is the problem? Yes, that's good. Providing that just as the problem. But anyways, if we do that, let's take about 15 minutes to go through it. And then once you're done, where we go to next? Oh yeah, we'll collect those. So what we'll do is we'll collect them all there. Collect them. If you want to get lunch, you have to bring over all your people. Okay. Yeah, and then what we'll do is there's one last sheet called Next Steps. It's not homework, it's Next Steps. But this is to take back with you as a team. And the next step. Okay, so this is what you take back and work in your groups as a group. Say after gathering input and information, are you going to redefine the problem? What's a realistic timeline for you to get that with? What resources will you need? And how will you measure success in the next year? That's kind of your team call. And once we're done, we're going to have a raffle. Just let you know on that. And further say what we call two approaches to strategic thinking, like two, we're called 4 lots of matrices. So look at these as far as how you would define how you're going to matrices. Look at how you're defining solution to any questions? No, there's a lot of concerns. So people are just kind of start using your gallery walk, looking at stuff, and then filling that paperwork out. And then once you're done with that, come back, and then we'll kind of wrap up. So we're going to take 15 minutes to do that. Okay? Ready? Go. Let's read, remember, we need one person for each of your teams to stand next to your host to answer your questions.
Oh, you got a lively discussion.
Oh, ready?
I'm smiling.
It always comes down to this, doesn't it? We get it this far. So. We give you guys a couple of minutes. And then what we want to do is. If you guys can go back to your group. Here. All right. Just to kind of go through this, we're going to have a lot of this anyways, what we want you to do is go through this. Okay, what we want you to do is on your red down the walkthrough, right now, up there, go over some of your observations about what you saw. Leave that on your table. You would like to take a picture of your records of your poster. Because we're going to keep those in all over the place. But just take a picture so you have that as well. So we're going to do that real quickly, so we're going to give you a couple minutes to go through this. And I'm just going to say one thing, I'll say one thing. But there's a strategic planning area called pre-launch spirit. Has anybody heard that before? The idea is there's three boxes of thinking. There's three boxes in kind of strategic planning. You look at what you're doing that's failing. You look at what you want to do for the future. But the third one that most organizations cannot do, and I want you to think about this as you're going back, is what are you doing that works that still needs to be sunsetted or retired? Because sometimes we continue to do things that work that are not the most efficient for us to do as an organization. So as you go back in your next steps, and you look at what you're going to do next, think about that. Because up here there's talks about work overload. There's talks about communication. How many of those are based on things that we're doing that quote work? After that comment, it's been nice working here. I've enjoyed being here and I hope that you all miss me. So, give you a couple minutes and then we're going to get into the fun part. We're going to do a raffle and then the really exciting part. You didn't get much in the meeting, the more meetings this Friday. You will be doing that. All right. First of all, I just want to thank Ida and her team. Thank you for putting all this together. We can get a really proud of that. Thank you. Thank you. All the hard work. Thank you all for the action first. It's easy to just sit and not do anything. But what was exciting was to see how much interaction we had around this. So, Okay, so we're gonna wrap that up. I don't like making wrap it. So Robin, can you come up and help me, please? Because I know how much Robin loves reading. How many people know who Robin is? You guys know who Robin is? Robin is, I had the blessing of reading on my team for a while now. She's awesome person. So we're gonna pick, we have 3 prizes, right, Tree? There are 3 prizes. We're going to pick the first one. All right. 362207. 2207. We're going to go to 362259. Oh, all right. Woo. Next one. 362194. All right. Yay. Last one, here we go. Please, okay, everybody get along with it. 362219. Oh. 2219. 2219. Again, thank you all for joining us today. If you can, take your blue sheet and your red sheet and hand it to Lana. We go to eat your lunches. Thank you again. Have a great day. Be safe, and we'll see you next. Great day.